Hey guys, this was supposed to be my first video game review of being Mortal Kombat 11, and while doing it I kind of started to go into a rant. So let's make it a little bit of both, huh? Rant slash game review. Let's talk about that. So upon getting MK11, I was actually really excited, having played most of the Mortal Kombat games in the past. One of my favorites being MK9. Really enjoyed it. Before that, I really liked Deadly Alliance. The thing about this game, though, is that it wasn't so much what was in the game that was bugging me until the people that made it started to talk about it that was bugging me. Pretty much, if you don't know, this game has been getting a lot of talk about the way women are dressed in this game, as opposed to the men. Whatever your stance is on that, it's whatever, doesn't matter to me all that much, you know, like what you like. But it did start to get to me. It did start to bother me. So, but before we get into that, let's talk about the actual game, the quality of it. I think that's probably more important.
Be sure.
I urge you both to investigate.
We will leave immediately.
So as far as the game is concerned, it has your basic setup here. I actually will give them props. I do like the menu. I like the way this is laid out. If I remember correctly, the first crypt was in Deadly Alliance, which is the game I said was one of my favorites. Crypt in here, there's a lot to go through. There's a lot of stuff to search. It's a little much for me, though. I mean, it may not be for you. I enjoy Mortal Kombat for the fighting, for the ridiculous characters. That's what I love about it. It's just been ridiculous characters. Everything, all the chests in it, they're randomized, so you have no idea what you're gonna get, where it's gonna be. So let's open one up. Let's see what I'm gonna get. Goro's Lair. All right, we got some music. So, no, that's not too bad. I don't mind the music. You'll get items that you can use to forge. Right? Put them in there, you create your artifacts, assuming you have the right items. And you use said items to progress through the crypt. Let's talk about the beef of the game now, right? So as far as the beef of the game goes, it plays like your traditional Mortal Kombat. You know, if you're fans of the game, it won't be anything new here. You'll know exactly what you're getting into. The basic combos, they feel like they did in the previous games. If you've never played Mortal Kombat, however, there is a tutorial mode to help you out. It's not that difficult to pick up. Also eliminated the X-rays from the last games. Instead, now you have the Fatal Blow. So whenever your health is low enough, you can activate it and you can pull off a combo, which would, again, essentially took over the X-rays. And at the bottom of the left-hand screen, you'll notice that there is a meter with a little sword by it. I've always called it a burn meter. I don't know what the actual name for it is. That's what I've always called it. You can basically use that to increase the strength of the attack that you're doing. Say whatever you're doing, your combo is 1 to 2 hits. By using some of the meter, it will increase it by an attack or 2. And side note, if you are not connected to the internet, you cannot access the crypt. There are a great many things that you can't do without being connected to the server. Customize isn't bad. Specific characters, look at the treasures you've unlocked. That's pretty self-explanatory. We can go to the characters. So, you go here and you can customize them. Let's just go with Mr. S&M himself, Shao Kahn. So you pick him and set up his gear. It's kind of cool that this is in here. You know, adds a little bit of depth to it. I want to go with the hammer.
Oh, I got eyes, brother. Younger than you, I solemnly swear to tap that at the earliest opportunity. What? It's our destiny.
I'm already through talking about the game, because a great many of us have probably played past MK games, and if you have, it's about what you would expect. Play, you know, graphic-wise, they're a little better. gameplay. It's pretty good. It's nice and tight. And then we get to the story. It's not bad. It's okay. Some of the voice acting is a little shoddy. Most of it is pretty good though. I'll give him that. Most of it's pretty good. The facial animations still bug me a little bit in this game. But see, here's where my problem comes with this. I wanted to give a traditional review like you see with most people, but then again, maybe it's good. I'm not gonna be most people. And more and more people kept talking about all the politics in the game, and that made me kind of start to hate the game. I won't even lie. I thought about, after purchasing it, after playing it throughout the night, thought about selling it. Seeing a friend wanted to buy it, just getting rid of it, because it kind of bugs me having a game where sometimes it feels like some of the people that made the game don't care that much about all their audience. I'm sure they care about a great many of us, but the simple fact that I'm not going to say his name, I'm not going to bring up the article. I'm sure if some of you have probably researched it before, or you've seen other videos talking about it, about how he's not upset if he upsets some of the people because there's not going to be scantily clad women in the game. Which, okay, hey, that's fine. But then you have the other side of the argument where the men are some of them pretty fucking close to naked. Let's be honest. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It doesn't bother me at all. But I can see how it's little, how you gonna say, okay, well, when Ninja wouldn't go into battle in a bathing suit, she'd be in full armor, which is why she's in full, okay, that's fair. Wouldn't this guy be in full armor too? Wouldn't he? If they're both taking the same exact damage, this guy is getting hit and he's getting back up, why does she need the armor? If you really want to say that she's a strong woman, she should be wearing just as little as he is. She takes the same hit and her ass gets back up. She keeps fighting. Why? I feel like they're trying to appeal to people that aren't even going to buy the damn game. And that kind of bothers me. That really bothers me. I don't really want to go into depth about it. I'm going to end up keeping the game. Because like I said, at its core, it is a fun game. The graphics are good. Aside from some of the facial animations, Shiva looking kind of like a man. She does. You might hate me for it, but she looks like a friggin' man. But just leave your politics out of the damn game, man. Seriously. It's a world of fiction, fictional characters. They're fictional, you know. It's leave everything in the real world out. We come to these games to escape, whether it's violence or sex or a little bit of both. In fact, those things collide quite a bit. Just make a fun game and shut the fuck up. It's weird, honestly. It's weird hearing the people at NetherRealm talking the way they are, given growing up. Whenever first Mortal Kombat came out, I was in elementary school, and it was all over the news about how mature rated it was and how you shouldn't play the game and all this bullcrap. And it's weird them being on the other end. They're trying to take some kind of stance, and it's an unnecessary one. It's just kind of weird hearing those same people that were once getting crap for their games, and they had to basically usher in the ESRB. Now they are toning down their games. They're the ones toning down their games now. And they're omitting stuff from their games to try not to hurt the feelings of people that aren't even going to play the damn games. And they're going to spit in the faces of some of the fans of their games. And I won't lie, like I said earlier, Jade's one of my favorites. I love MK9 Jade. I love that costume. Jesus Christ, I love that costume. This is her. I love that costume. I love that look. I'm not saying all the women need to be like that. They don't. They shouldn't. You need a little bit of both. You need A little bit of both, just like in the story mode. Good and evil comes into play. It needs to be even. That's just the way it should be. You can't have one without the other. If you don't want to have any of the heroes dressed that way, okay, fine. Maybe make one of the villains dress that way. Melina's not in here. She would have been the perfect one to do it. She's easily the type that would use her body to get a man close before she rips his freaking head off. She's just that type of person. She's not in this game. But I'm sure you could have easily found somebody else. Scarlet's in this game. I would have loved to have seen a costume for Scarlet similar to something like the MK9 Melina or Jade. You know, just... You gotta keep it fair. You can't feed us bullcrap saying that you can't feed us bullcrap saying, oh, it's because they're going to battle. Because they're going to battle is why they're wearing all this armor. Whenever all the men are pretty much, then no. No. It's crap, man. You know, and it kind of makes me wonder. After all this time, after all these years, them being on the news about how grotesque their game is, about how mature it is, and suddenly they have this stance which doesn't make sense to a great deal of the fighting game community. It makes me wonder.
These cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. What happened? Did your balls drop off? Hmm?
Did they? Ron.
You chose poorly.
So Mortal Kombat, I won't give it a number. I'll just say it's good. Alright, I'll leave that up to you. Maybe, hopefully, this helps you a little bit. You want a solid fighting game? Get it. You want one that looks good? Get it. You want one free of politics? Don't get it. You want one where the creators may or may not care about you? Not totally confirmed? Don't get it. I will say this. If this happens in the next MK, they lost a lifelong fan. And I won't be getting it. Sorry.